Hi there, my name's Dr. Justin Amery and I've been doing a series of videos about coronavirus, hoping for the best and preparing for the worst. In this video I'm going to talk to you about care planning. If you've been watching the other videos, we've been talking about coronavirus and what it can do in the best case, but also in the worst case. We've talked a bit about death and dying, and in this video we're going to talk about planning in case you get to the point where you can't speak for yourself with the virus. So the video is about care planning, hoping for the best and preparing for the worst. A little bit about me, as you can maybe tell from my hoarse voice and cough. I'm sitting at home recovering from coronavirus myself, which fortunately for me has been a relatively mild affair. I'm a doctor, I'm a GP or family practitioner working in Oxford in the UK, and I'm also a palliative care doctor. Mainly children's palliative care, but also adults. And I've been doing both for about 25 years, both in the UK and abroad, particularly in Uganda. And while I'm sitting at home, not able to work, my thoughts have really gone out to people who are sitting alone and feeling anxious and frightened about the coronavirus, and living alone with that fear. And I thought, you know what, there's a lot I can do for that, because given my experience, there's a lot to be comforted about. Because while most of us will live with this, and even though some of us might die with this, there's a tremendous amount that I can share with you, which is comforting, because the fear I found of life and of death is always 100 times worse than the reality. So this series of videos is aimed at relieving that anxiety and bringing comfort, particularly to people who are home and alone and frightened. This is going to be quite a short video, and I'm going to try and really push home one key message: is you really, really, really need to make a plan. If you haven't made a plan, you really, really, really need to make one, because hoping for the best, this will be fine. You'll get a mild illness, you'll pass through, you'll get better, that'll be that. Preparing for the worst, there may come a time when you're not able to make a decision for yourself. And if you don't make a decision for yourself now, someone's going to make a decision for you. And if you watch my previous video, one of the things I demonstrated is that 90% of people want to be at home when they die. They want to be in the comfort of their own bed, surrounded by the people they love, being allowed to die naturally, peacefully, and with dignity. For most people, that doesn't happen. For most people, they end up dying in hospital or in a strange place, in a strange environment, attached to strange machinery that they don't want, particularly in the Western world. That's because the system is set up that if someone stops breathing, the ambulance is called, they get whizzed to casualty, they get put into ITU, they get ventilated. If you want that to happen, that's fine. You don't need to do anything else, although it would still be useful for you to tell someone that's what you want. If you don't want that to happen, it's really, really, really important you tell people and make a plan, because otherwise it will happen to you when you're unconscious. Advanced care planning sounds really scary because people think about lawyers and big documents and so on, but it isn't. An advanced care plan is basically really simple. It's like, where do I want to be cared for? Who do I want to do the caring? And how do I want to be looked after? And then what will happen after I've gone, if I go? Those are not difficult questions. Where do I want to be cared for? For me, I'd want to be cared for at home. Because I've got dependents, I'd probably want to try and stay alive, even if the worst comes to the worst, so I'd probably want to get admitted. In 10 years' time, maybe 5 years' time, I probably want to just stay at home. I'm not sure I want to spend the end of my life on a ventilator on ITU. But everyone's different and there's no right or wrong answer. Who do I want to be cared for? Ideally, I'd want to be cared for by my loved ones, but obviously with support. I don't want them getting exhausted looking after me. I want them to spend the time left with me to enjoy my company, but still I'd like to be around my family and my friends. How do I want to be cared for? I would like to be cared for personally, so that I don't suffer, so that I'm peaceful, and that I can die with dignity as far as possible. And what happens after I die, I don't really mind. Personally, I hope something great happens. I hope there is a heaven. I'm sanguine about the fact there might not be. I hope I've left good memories. I've certainly had some great memories. It's been a fantastic life. If I died tomorrow, I'd have nothing to regret and I'd have everything to be grateful for. But I would want to make some practical things, because I've got kids and I've got a wills and I have insurances, so I need to kind of organise that stuff. So, what's the point of a care plan? Well, first of all, you can tell people where you want to be looked after. When you tell people where you want to be looked after, people like me, your doctors and so on, we can get everything ready. We can get your medicines ready, we can get the equipment ready, and that means that everything's ready and everybody's prepared. You're going to have the best chance. You're going to have the best chance of being cared for where you want, how you want, by the people you want. And if it comes to the worst, if it comes to you dying, you've got the best chance of being allowed to die naturally and peacefully and with dignity. So care planning is quick. All you need to do is the following. Have a think. Watch this video. Have a think. Once you've had a think, have a talk. Talk to people you trust. Talk to people you love. It might be family and friends. It might be people, professionals. It doesn't really matter, but just talk through the options. Write it down. You don't have to write it down on a formal legal document. You can just take a piece of paper, take your pen out and write it down. Where do I want to be looked after? Who do I want to look after me? How do I want to be looked after? And then give copies to someone. If you give copies to someone, you can send those copies out to doctors, ambulance service, hospitals, so everybody knows what you want and you get your choice. Because one thing we're learning from coronavirus is this is our life. We have to make the most of it. We have some choices. Some choices can't happen. There are some places in the world where ITU is not available. There are some places in the world where oxygen isn't available. It may come to it, even in countries that have good health systems, not everybody's going to be able to get an ITU bed. That's the truth of it. I hope it doesn't come to that. But for all of us, the best thing we can do is to make our choices now, while we still can. It's our life, it's our death, it's our choice. It's my life, it's my death, it's my choice. It's your life, it's your death, it's your choice. In the previous videos, I've given you the information you need, I think, to make those choices. Now's the time to be brave, to make the choices, and to be sensible, to be wise, to write those choices down and share them with people you love. I hope you found this video helpful and comforting. Please do watch the other videos in this series. The next one particularly is about practicalities of how to talk to someone. If you yourself are thinking about writing your own care plan, that video is not going to be so useful because you've already had the hard talk and you can do your thinking for yourself. If you're watching this video thinking, crikey, I really need to speak to my mum or my dad or my grandma or my aunt or my next door neighbour, that's quite a daunting prospect. But in the next video, we'll talk about how to do it, and it's a lot easier than you think. It's a tough video. Again, I'm really sorry to have to go through the tough stuff like this, but we are, remember, preparing for the worst. For the vast majority of people, we can hope for the best, and the best will happen. For some of us, it won't. I hope for those people it's been comforting. Please, please, please share these videos with your family, your friends, your patients, whoever. Try and get it out there because the virus epidemic is moving quite fast and we need to get people to make decisions quite quickly. Thanks for listening. Take care and I'll speak soon.